Gonna need a microphone. Hang on. Hey, Raylene, yeah. Hey, Marcy, how you doing? Thanks for the heart. And Farmhouse, this is your first day on Periscope. Welcome. And every fight. Salsa sounding fire, yeah. Hey, Miss Kathy. Hey, Barnabas. Hey, Bill. Yeah, we do. We're gonna develop a champion's heart today. That is Carmen. Almost done. Hey, everybody. Wow. We are really in the midst of a lot of opportunity right now. We just found out here in New Hampshire that our state executive council is going to vote tomorrow on whether to automatically opt every single citizen of New Hampshire into a vaccine registry. This is New Hampshire. You can't automatically opting in every single person to put your sensitive medical information and register to accessible Gates-funded CDC and others, along with your past medical history that could be used for COVID's highly controversial vaccination deployment and tracking. Wow. I'm late today because I was on the phone calling our executive counselors and saying, no, this is not okay. When I get off, I'm going to email them all. I just found something that was sent to me on Reddit about an airline that made people sign a document before they got off the plane, where they basically gave up their rights. Let me see if I can find this for you. The document on the plane that said, hold on. Okay. This is actually from Facebook, Instagram, HealthNut News. Something very strange is going on. You know before you go. This is what you and your family are going to be asked to sign. We need to find out if this is really rolling. This is an update. Is what future flight, is this what your next flight is going to look like? This just in from a friend of mine who had to fill out paperwork since he flew to Florida last week. I just want to share the nonsense they're trying to force people to sign. If you notice on page 3 in red below, hopefully they've attached it, it says the Surgeon General has the right to examine, treat, isolate, quarantine, or vaccinate. The flight attendants tell you cannot get off the plane unless this is filled out, where there are then National Guard and a few other guys waiting at the gate to question you further. Alert, red alert. This is exactly the kind of thing that we are being called to speak out about. So we need to be paying attention and vetting this stuff and being aware and making sure we're getting out accurate information and asking questions. Question everything. Get together with other people who are in a tribe where we're challenging each other to rethink, to do not only what is good for our health, but good for our rights. I don't think we should have to settle for one or the other. I believe we can have the welfare of our nation and the rights that give us this welfare. So wow, what a day. What a day. Things are opening up, but that provides a greater challenge for us because we're going to have to decide in so many different situations what kind of choices, not mandates, choices that we will make in different situations, considering all of the values that we have and the things that we are committed to, or we should be committed to as Americans. My breath is gone thinking about, in my state, them automatically opting me into some vaccination registry that I didn't really know anything about until one day before they're going to meet and seal our fate. And it's not an opt-in. You have to know about it and opt your stuff out of it. And these are the kinds of things we want to pay attention to. Guys, we were created for this hour. This is the hour where God has put us right here for just such a time as this. God has given us the opportunity to learn to stand, learn to develop resilience, learn how to handle and maintain information, to vet information, to go more deeply into things, and to question. And also to resist the urge to do anything out of fear or confusion, right? Not even only fear for ourselves, but fear for others. The fear game is a trap. And the search for safety is actually a way of enslaving us. And so we have to constantly be keeping these things in mind as we move forward. So suffice to say, we've all got some work to do. We've all got some places to go we haven't gone before, people to engage with that we haven't before, choices to make about whether we're going to do what we're being programmed to do or whether there's a rational reason for doing those things, and exercising our right of moral conscience over that versus government control, media brainwashing. Those are the issues. We all want to make good choices. We all want to do things that are for the good of our country and our national life. But it has to be the citizens' moral conscience and not the control of our government. I called and used that line yesterday and reported our governor for constitutional overreach because we have an automatic First Amendment which gives us the right of peaceful assembly, religious expression, and speech. And so when those things are shut down by some order or executive order, then we have to speak up. And that number for the Attorney General Barr's office to report this is there. I think, Barnabas, you put it up yesterday. Do you want to put it up again? I'm so sorry. I was so distracted by making my phone calls. I didn't get it ready. But the guy was very helpful, and I went on there and I reported the constitutional violations of my state. And he said people are really calling from all over the place. So we've got momentum, and we need to do this. And if you are from New Hampshire, I want you to look up and call the Executive Council and tell them no to this vaccine registry today. You need to call today. And if you're going to be on an airplane or you're going to be going in different places, beware. We need to find out if they're controlling people and depriving us of our rights of peaceful assembly and movement around the country. Imagine you get on a plane and they won't let you off unless you sign off your rights. What is that about? Is that really a thing? Let's find out. Let's research that. Let's share that. Let's speak out about that. That would be something. The post that I saw mentions Florida. So if you're in Florida, you're going to want to, and we're going to want to report that as a violation of our civil rights, our constitutional rights. So, there's a lot of stuff we're going to have to pay attention to right now. But we were made for this. We had our rest. We had our quiet. Now we're coming out of the box. We're coming out punching. We're coming out questioning. We're coming out making some different choices from time to time about what we do and don't want to do in different situations. We have that capacity. We're adults. We're Americans. And you know what? Long after this virus is gone and people actually shift their attention to something else, the government will not forget how easy it was to control us. They will not forget how easy it was to control us and how quietly and meekly we went away because people were afraid and confused. And so we have to remember who we are as a nation, who we are as a people, and we've got to continue to be really, really involved. Florida had a 14-day quarantine for people coming to visit. I don't know, I had a friend who just flew to Florida and back and didn't have any of that issue. I know we were going to go up and spend some time in Vermont and at a timeshare, and they called and said, you'd have to stay here for 14 days. Okay, so we've got choices to make, right? And we need to be aware. Check on those vaccine registries. Check on airlines, what they're expecting you to do. Report your governors if there are mandatory requirements for masks, mandatory requirements and restriction of your liberties. Report them, and we're going to learn how to do this together, because we Americans have choices. And I'll tell you what, the reason why we've done what we've done for the last 2 months is because Americans are good people, and we do want the best for others. So we have actually given them this power because we have quietly done what they asked us to do. We gave them this power by doing this. And now it's time to stand up and say, no, I don't think so. It shouldn't be mandatory. We're not going to do this again. Are we going to do this every time there's a virus? Are we going to do this every time there's a disruption in health, that people are going to go into a bubble and we're going to shut everything down and we're going to believe everything that comes across through the media, that then winds up turning out to be not so clear cut, that there are risks to others if we suppress our immune systems the way we have been doing that, and that how many other people will suffer other consequences because of this. And we care about them just as much as we care about any vulnerable population. So guys, this is our time. Suck it up, Buttercup. We've been talking so often about overcoming fear and anxiety. Why? So we could just feel good, or so we could act? So we could do things that amount to specific actions. So this is an action-driven time. This is paying a lot of attention. We've got to pick up our phones. We've got to call. We've got to show up at meetings. We've got to go to places and speak out. Protest if necessary. Meet, have people in your home. Do whatever you want to do that you think, and you've assessed all of the factors, and you need to exercise your rights. And what those look like. You're grown up. You can figure it out. And so this is not a time for passivity. This is a time for all the time that we've spent learning that we can learn confidence. We can learn how. We can develop resistance to the pressure to conform. We can learn how to do that. And so we are becoming a very resilient people, and we're not going to go away. We're not going to go away and just give our country over. We're not. We're not going to give up our rights. We're not going to give up our liberties, our free expression, our freedom of movement, our freedom to express ourselves and not have the government tell us what to wear, what to go, where not to go, make us sign away our rights. We're not going to do it. We're not going away. And so to that end, let's make some declarations together today. Let's stand. Let's come against the forces that are trying to control our minds and intimidate us, as we just stand in authority and we just say, in Jesus' name, heavens open, eyes and ears be cleared, wisdom. We ask for and we receive wisdom. Right now, in Jesus' name, we strike down the powers and authorities that are trying to control us. We say that we walk in peace, we walk in favor, we walk in integrity, we walk in love, we walk in compassion, and we walk in freedom and liberty. And we will make the choices that we need to make, not only for ourselves, but for others, not only for our health, but for our liberty. And we choose right now, we say, heavens be opened, fear go, intimidation go. We decree and declare we live in the United States of a miracle, and we are becoming a freer people, a more activated people, a more conscientious people, a more dogged and determined people than ever before. I say our eyes are opened, our ears are opened, our hearts are open, and we are moving forward. We are moving forward to secure our liberty, our freedom, and our well-being. And nothing can stop us. And that's the way it's going to go in between now and this in-between time where we feel it. We feel like the now and the not yet. This is the time when the Israelites left Egypt, but they're not yet at Mount Sinai where they get their identity and their national structure. This is the time, the exact same time, just after Jesus was risen from the dead, and he was appearing to the disciples and assuring them he was really the risen Lord. But they had not yet received the power that was going to make them the dynamos they needed to take back the world. And right now we're in on Passover, in April, this virus just went way down. And things are opening up, but we're not yet fully exercising our freedoms. And we're not yet demonstrating that we won't be dominated. And so we're in this now and not yet. And this is our time to stand. This is our time to get stronger, more resolute, more resistant, not less resistant. Like, we're just getting started. We're just getting started. More resolute. So right now we're like, oh, wow, I really do have to go to a protest. Wow, I really do have to get off this Periscope and go make phone calls. I really do have to write some emails. I really do have to go out and go some places I normally wouldn't go and engage in ways that maybe other people aren't going to understand. I really do have to do that. We really do. We really do. That's what we were made for. This is our hour. This is our time. We're not going back. We're not going away quietly. We've got to educate ourselves, share with others, stay open, stay focused, and increase in what we're doing. Increase. We're increasing. This is what happened. What happened? The Israelites left Egypt. We are leaving Egypt. We are leaving the mind control. We are leaving the tyranny of so many things, so many more things than the COVID deal. And we are leaving, but it's an unsure time. But we're heading to Sinai. We're heading where we're going to get revelation, clarity, and strength to self-govern like the Israelite nation. We are leaving the crucifixion into the power and authority to touch our nation. We're moving into that. And if you want to be part of a group that will also help you with that, you can go to Facebook and ask to join My Fear Free Life group. I just started another challenge between now and Pentecost to keep us focused, and also just so we can start developing that resilience and that strength to question, to ask, to seek, to knock, to activate more and more, something every day. I want you guys every day to do something that scares you. Every day that is more activating than the day before. Every day where you push the boundaries and you push the limits. In love, in confidence, in courage, do something more than you did yesterday. Go out on purpose. I made myself go out on purpose to places I normally wouldn't go and spend time there engaging with people that I might not have wanted to. And you know what? The most happy, confident people are in the room are the ones without the masks, to be honest with you. And they're the ones that will sit and talk with you and ask and answer questions and go, well, what do you think what's going on? What's happening? Everyone else is running around hiding. And I've had some great engagement with people that I normally wouldn't. And we need to start doing, you got to go out according to the dictates of your moral conscience, having educated yourself and considered the options and consider the risks for yourself and others. You get to choose. The government does not have the right to do that for you, right? So we've got to go do something more and more that's uncomfortable, that's activating, that probably scares us, right? So let's do it. Let's do it. If you're like me, you got to get on the phone and call your executive counselors for the state of New Hampshire. Where at whatever state you're in, you need to call Attorney General Barnabas. Can you find that number again and put it on here? The Attorney General's phone number. You can report your local officials and your governor for violating your constitutional rights. And the guy was very nice. You get on there and you press 1, you go through, and you'll get a person who actually talks to you, and you can say, here's my governor, here's what's happening. I think these mandatory orders are unconstitutional, here's why, and they'll take your information. And then afterwards, again, I said, I heard there's a lot of people doing this. Yeah, there's quite a few. And I heard somewhere else on James R.'s show that they're getting thousands. They're getting thousands. This is what we need to do. This is exactly what we need to do, is let our government know we're watching them. That we have been kind and loving, and we stayed home for 2 months, and we played by the rules. And for most of us across the country, it's time. If you live in a dense population area and there's something specific in your situation, by all means, do what your conscience dictates. By all means, do what your conscience dictates. And if you feel the best thing for you is to do a certain thing, then do it. But not in passivity, not because it's government mandated, and not because you haven't questioned the narrative. So, in any event, where's the number? Barnabas, can you get that number for us? Hold on. I'm hoping Barnabas will get it. And maybe I can look on here also. Hey, want me to play the song again while we look for that number? Yeah? Here we go. I think this is it. Is it going to play? Yes, we're looking for the number for the Attorney General. Okay. You know who's got it is Johnny Enlow on his Facebook post today. I'll see if I can look it up. Stay with us while we get that phone number. Looking for that number for you guys for the Attorney General. Did you find it, Barnabas? You know what? If you follow Johnny Enlow, oh, there it is, bar hotline, 1-866-720-5721. 1-866-720-5721. Press 1. If there is any kind of mandatory order coming from your governor or your officials, chances are it's unconstitutional. Best hat ever. Okay, you guys, we are the King's kids. And we will act in love, and we will act in wisdom, and we will act in boldness, and we do walk in freedom, and we can't be stopped, right? So let's just get, thank you, Barnabas, 1-866-720-5721. Press 1, and there'll be a tree, and you'll be looking for maybe where they're not saying exactly, like, if they're not saying the exact verbiage, but if you wait for a person and tell them you have something you want to report, and say, I want to report constitutional violations in my state from my officials, they will help you. And I know it will not take long. So right now, in this in-between time, this is not a time for passivity. This is a time for increase and expansion, getting more and more bold, more and more confident. We're growing in this together, more and more aware, right, of what we are doing and why we're doing it, and we're not stopping. Okay. All right, you guys. And keep your eyes open. This is our hour. This is our hour. I will see you